Zepbound weight loss and Mounjaro weight loss, explaining the Zepbound savings card or the Zepbound coupon fully in this video. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost 70 pounds with Mounjaro weight loss. Super excited about Mounjaro FDA approval for Zepbound. Same thing, but Mounjaro is approved by the FDA for type 2 diabetics, has been being prescribed off-label for weight loss and chronic obesity management. 30%, by the way, there's a study that was done, more than 30% of prescriptions are prescribed off-label. So to give some context, people are like, why are people who are not type 2 diabetics taking Mounjaro? Is because it's prescribed off-label. Now with the FDA approval of Eli Lilly's Zepbound, it is now for chronic obesity management. And as we are coming forward with new information, literally the new savings card information has been released. I want to walk through with you if you're thinking about tirzepatide weight loss, or if maybe you're doing WEGOVY weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, of switching your prescription over, some helpful tips with the savings card and what does it mean for you, for your pocketbook, and for Zepbound insurance as well. Of course, I do have Mr. Freddie here, our faithful co-host as well. So let's dive in. First and foremost, I will link down below on my Countess of Shopping blog. I have tons of articles all about Mounjaro weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, WEGOVY weight loss. Today's episode is no exception. There'll be an article linked down below of the information I'm verbally giving. If you are like me, I am not only an auditory learner, I'm a visual learner. So I will visually have everything linked out in the article and with the references on this too. So diving in of what the savings card basically says, of course, a couple things. One, I am not a healthcare provider or medical provider, nor do I pretend to play a doctor on the internet. Always talk with your own healthcare provider. This is not medical advice at all, simply my experience, strength, and hope, as always for all videos. Number two, check out as these things may change. We saw it with Mounjaro weight loss. We've seen it with WEGOVY weight loss. We've seen it with Ozempic. And as things progress with semaglutide weight loss and tirzepatide weight loss with compounds, there's changes. So make sure that you're double checking and doing also like the up-to-date information on this. As of right now, this is the most up-to-date information. So let's go through commercial insurance. To get the savings card, I'm going to link it down below on the article. You can get this savings card that you pay as low as $25 for 1 month or a 3-month prescription if eligible and commercially insured coverage with Zepbound. Okay, so a couple of things on there. You may be like, yikes, stripes, fruit stripes, gum, that's so exciting. And I was very excited to see that $25 savings card. But let's read some of the fine print. And that's what I really want to encourage you to do too with the fine print is you need to, let's go back. If you have commercial insurance with coverage of Zepbound, you may be eligible for that 1 month or 3-month prescription of Zepbound savings card. For eligibility, you need to double check with commercially insured patients for Zepbound coverage, governmental beneficiaries excluded. Meaning if you're on Medicare, Medicaid, state government insurance, and we're going to talk about TRICARE military health insurance too, of what that means, or if you're a federal employee, what that also means as well. But so if you have that, then you could be eligible for that $25 a month. We saw with Mounjaro weight loss journey. And by the way, if you've not clicked that subscribe button, make sure you do so you can stay in the loop with all things GLP-1 related here at Countess of Shopping. If you have commercial drug insurance, but it does not cover Zepbound, you may pay as low as $550 for a 1-month supply of Zepbound. So you have insurance, but your insurance company is not covering it. That's where you could get the savings card to make it as low as $550, and read that fine print as low as $550. Could that mean more than that? Perhaps, depending on where you're getting this, because it talks about the quantity, which we're going to talk about too, of the discounts with this Zepbound savings card. It's based on the estimated payments based on $563 per month. $563 per month, and eligible for commercially insured patients with Zepbound coverage, 1 month as defined as 28 days with 4 pens. So 1 pen each week, your Zepbound pen, 1 each week, 4 in the month, or the 28 days in the month. 3 months as defined as 84 days and up to 12 pens. Gosh, would that not be amazing, by the way, to get that prescription for a 3-month prescription for $25? I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, but let's keep going. The maker of Zepbound is Eli Lilly. The maker of WEGOVY is Novo Nordisk, and they do WEGOVY and Ozempic. WEGOVY's price is actually, what we're finding with the new Zepbound release, it looks like it's 20%, Zepbound is 20% less in price per month than WEGOVY, the maker of Novo Nordisk on that, which is crazy. It's 20% less expensive for Zepbound, which has not been released as of yet. I have been bugging pharmacies in my area. I've been asking, knock, 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 seek and you will find, knock and it'll be answered. I've been knocking to figure out, okay, when is this prescription coming out? When is it gonna start to be available? I'm hearing rumblings in December, but I'm also hearing rumblings in the new year as well of 2024. So let's keep going. So here's the card eligibility criteria. You've been prescribed Zepbound consistent with FDA approved product labeling, right? For chronic obesity management. And then there's other things in there about like basically lifestyle changes. Those are the biggest component with food and body movement. 2, you're enrolled in commercial drug insurance plan. So if you do not have health insurance, then you need to be enrolled and you are enrolled in it. This is to get the discount card on it, the Zepbound savings card. Number 3, you are not enrolled in any state, federal, or government-funded healthcare programs, including, without limitation, to Medicaid, Medicare, Medicare Part D, Medicare Advantage, Medigap, DOD, VA, TRICARE, Champus, or any other state prescription drug assistance program. However, one of our amazing countesses here, her full-time job is helping people get Mounjaro and other GLP-1s. And so now Zepbound, WEGOVY, Ozempic through either Medicare or Medicaid. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to get, with assistance, the prescriptions. So I want to give you, I don't know the full details on that, and nor do I pretend to play a healthcare expert, because I'm not. I'm simply somebody who just is enthusiastic about GLP-1s and how it's changed my life, losing 70 pounds. And I want to encourage people. And in our free group that has thousands of people who are on the Mounjaro weight loss journey, Zepbound weight loss journey, WEGOVY weight loss journey, semaglutide weight loss journey, and Tirzepatide weight loss journey, an encouraging space that I've created here at the Countess of Shopping of people encouraging each other. So that's my whole goal. So again, going back over to, I don't know the ins and outs about Medicare and Medicaid. However, I do know that Mounjaro, people have been getting that prescription through those programs. And it's following the rules, right? Like I always want to encourage, follow the rules, follow the rules, follow the rules. Do not try to skirt rules or be dishonest or any of that. I'm always a big, like, honesty and integrity and ethics matter. And that matters in this instance too. So going back over to, you've been prescribed consistent with the FDA approved product labeling, which is basically chronic obesity management and talking about lifestyle changes in there. 2, you're enrolled in a commercial drug insurance plan. 3, you're not enrolled in a state, federal, or government funded program. 4, you're a resident of the United States or Puerto Rico. And number 5, you're 18 years or older. So like a 17-year-old is not going to be able to get this prescription. Going back over to what I just said to clarify, because I know people are going to come for me in the comments, just to make sure they were not getting the savings card on Mounjaro, but they could get the prescription through Mounjaro, is what one of our amazing countesses, that's her full-time job. And there's a lot of people like that too, that's their full-time job of helping people with prescriptions on Medicare, Medicaid. And so know that there's answers out there, like there's answers out there. Keep going. But I want to give you the savings card information. Okay, so let's go back over. I want to go back over to the terms and conditions. We're going to talk about that and what to do to ask your insurance company, because right, we know that you have to have commercial insurance, where it's going to be that $25 potentially a month or 28 days, 4 pence, or Zepbound for $550 per month, which, by the way, there may be some middle ground on this too. The accountant and I have been talking about that as well. I don't think it's going to be as black or white as $25 or $500. There may be some gray in here, which we're going to get to, because it was the variation off the total amount, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But asking your insurance company, my insurance company, interesting to note, because the count is on this. He is like on it. He's the one who told me when Zepbound broke that I literally was walking the 130-pound Great Dane Foster, and he's like, you need to get home right now. FDA just approved Zepbound, and which is why I got on air, and all those articles on countessofshopping.com came out, and the Facebook group for my Countess of Shopping Facebook group, we've been is because of him. He has been on it with our insurance company to see, okay, it was not at all listed. Now when you go into our insurance company portal and you type in Zepbound, before you couldn't even see it, Now it pops up that says error, which tells me, and it tells the count, we think that the medication is going to get approved by our insurance company. Fingers crossed. So I want to encourage you to check with your insurance company. Here's key questions to ask your insurance company per Zepbound. Eli Lilly's, the manufacturer Eli Lilly has on their website, cite my source. And I will link this also down on my article, link down below too, on Zepbound. Does my insurance plan cover Zepbound? If my insurance plan does cover Zepbound, how much will I pay? Are there specific steps my doctor or healthcare provider, because doctors are not the only ones that make prescriptions. We also know nurse practitioners and physician's assistants. I'm missing one, aren't I? There's another one, but it's not just doctors is the point that I'm trying to make. Are there specific steps my doctor needs to take before my coverage can be approved, such as submitting a prior authorization, a PA? Do they need to submit a prior authorization? What is my insurance plan's deductible, the amount you need to pay in healthcare costs before your insurance plan starts paying? So what is my insurance plan's deductible, basically what you need to pay before the insurance company is then going to start paying? What is the amount my insurance plan will cover? And if my insurance plan does not cover Zepbound, if my insurance plan does not cover Zepbound, how much will I pay? So those are questions to be asking. Again, put those in the article linked down below. Let's keep going. Okay, there's a lot to this. By the way, make sure you click that subscribe button and make sure you join my free Mounjaro weight loss and Zepbound weight loss encouragement group, and get my free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist and Zepbound success checklist down there too. If your employer has opted not to cover Zepbound, Eli Lilly has a great sample letters that you can send to your employer, meaning like your HR, of like, please start covering AOMs, anti-obesity medications. So there's a thing called an OAC, which is Obesity Action Coalition. And so they are helping people who are on AOMs, which are anti-obesity medications, helping to get more employers to cover these under their health insurance plan. That is noted down below. You can send a sample letter to your HR requesting coverage from your employer or your insurance company, or both. If you find out like it's a no-go for you, which is quite frustrating, and I understand it's quite frustrating. I do have a solution. If you are looking for a compound pharmacy or telehealth company, I have my absolute favorite linked down below. I have an article of why it's the best telehealth in my opinion, and they do compounds and name brands. They're the only telehealth company that prescribes both. Usually they do just one, like compounds, tirzepatide or semaglutide, or the other name brands, meaning Mounjaro, WEGOVY, Zepbound, Ozempic. They do both. So if you cannot, and they also have insurance concierge as part of their service too, which is huge, part of the membership. With that, their compounds are the least expensive that I have found in my research. They're significantly, if you start figuring out like month to month to month, less than all the other companies. But the quality, which has always been whenever I talk in videos about compounds, is what's the quality standard in which they're measuring. They do have third parties testing their compounds, as well as like a checks and balances system to ensure it's high quality. It gets shipped straight to you. You could do it, by the way, with some of them. People were asking, they're like, well, could I get it not shipped to me and just pick it up at my local pharmacy? You can do that too. They can send in if you want to get like Zepbound at your local pharmacy, when it does come out, you can use the telehealth company to also do that too as an option for you. If you're finding you can't pay that $550, that you have insurance coverage, or you have insurance but it's not covering Zepbound, maybe having semaglutide or tirzepatide. Tirzepatide is the main bulk ingredient of Mounjaro and Zepbound, and semaglutide is for Wegovy and Ozempic. Mounjaro and Zepbound have slightly higher data than Wegovy and Ozempic, but they're both incredible. Okay, but Wegovy's having that shortage. One thing that I want to go back over to, because I think it's a really important part of this video as well, is terms and conditions. There's a ton of fine print there too. Always read the fine print. Always follow the rules too. I always want to encourage Countess of Shopping community to follow the rules. And then number 3, Zepbound is very detailed on their website about the side effects. And because I'm the nerd that I am, I read through all of them. And I wanted to share with you, there is new one that it is on Zepbound as of when I last looked for Mounjaro, it was not there. And it's talking about, let me get the right terminology here. It's talking about depression, of having depression. And one of our group members in the Countess of Shopping community was commenting how they're taking Mounjaro and they've had increased depression. So this warning was not on Mounjaro from when I looked, maybe it's there now, but on Zepbound it is. It's saying if you're having depression or thoughts of unaliving yourself, you should pay attention to your moods, behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. Call your healthcare provider right away if you're having mental changes that are new, worse, or worry to you. There was a study done recently that Mounjaro did not statistically change. There wasn't substantial findings with Mounjaro for depression linked to it, but I find it interesting that Zepbound does have that warning on it now. It may just be legally to cover them. I'm guessing. I'm just putting that out there. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. But there was a whole study done on how it didn't substantially change the depression, but maybe that's since changed. And maybe that was an old study for me, right? Like I always want to be accurately citing my sources and data and things like that. But this on Zepbound's website does have it. So we need to take that into stock and into accountability. It talks also about like other serious side effects on there too. So Zepbound serious side effects can be severe stomach problems. We know that from Mounjaro, gastrointestinal issues, but this one is like, if you're having severe pain, you need to talk to your healthcare provider right away. Kidney problems, kidney failure, gallbladder problems, pancreatitis or inflammation of the pancreas. We saw that with pancreatitis with Mounjaro, which Mounjaro and Zepbound are the same thing, right? They're just FDA approvals for different things, for type 2 diabetes versus chronic obesity management. So we saw pancreatitis and gallbladder stuff typically, from my understanding, again, I'm not a healthcare provider, but from titrating up too quickly. It is not a race to get to the highest dose of Zepbound, which is 15 milligrams, or the highest dose of Mounjaro, which is 15 milligrams. Slow and steady wins the race. But it sounded like, from my observation, and again, I don't have a specific, usually I cite my sources. My sources, I'm just watching and observing people who do get gallbladder and pancreatitis things, or people who are titrating fairly quickly. That is not to include, I know there's some counts and countesses watching right now who have had gallbladder issues and pancreatitis, and that was not the case at all for them either. But it is one of the serious side effects and warnings that you should know if you're going to take Mounjaro and Zepbound. And of course, WEGOVY and Ozempic and semaglutide tirzepatide compounds, they do have similar warnings on there too. Low blood sugar, like hypoglycemia, changes to vision if you're on Mounjaro or Zepbound for type 2 diabetics. That is a serious side effect. And then there's just common side effects, which we've talked. I have a whole 17 common side effects for tirzepatide, weight loss, and Mounjaro weight loss, and Zepbound weight loss too. So those are the main nuts and bolts on this. Let me go back over to my notes. I did extensive research on this video before sharing it with you guys because I wanted to give you the most concise, easiest to understand, and figuring this out as we kind of go through it. Will there be a shortage on this? The main shortage that happened with the Mounjaro shortage was the pen. It wasn't the actual, it takes a while to make the chemical reaction to have with the tirzepatide. That wasn't what was, from my understanding, causing Eli Lilly the delays with the Mounjaro shortage, which seems to be, it's still on the FDA website, which we talked about on the last video, which you want to click subscribe so you can see upcoming videos. I've got so many amazing upcoming videos. Click that subscribe button and get my free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist and join the free encouragement group as well. But one of the things that I want to share with you is the shortage for Mounjaro. It's saying that it's all available, but it's still listed on the FDA shortage list, which it hadn't been updated since October. And I talked about that thoroughly in the last video, but WEGOVY's still on there and Ozempic's still on there. So something to think about with that too. We're going to be talking in upcoming videos also about maintenance. Once you do hit your particular weight loss goal, then what happens? Then what do? You may be right now like laser tunnel vision of like, I've never taken Mounjaro, I've never taken WEGOVY or Ozempic or any of these GLP-1 receptor antagonists. And if that's the case for you, check out the Telehealth company listed down below. They're really good. Having researched telehealth companies for months, and I didn't utter a word to anybody. It was like testing, using, trying. I love this company. They're a startup and they're passionate about chronic obesity management and GLP-1s. And they're going to make a dent in the industry too. They're really, really, I love them. So, emojis. We do things here at Countess of Shopping of where if you watch till the end, I always have an emoji for you, almost always. The last video I didn't have, or the previous, either it's the last one or the one coming up. I didn't have one, and now I'm just reminding myself, I'm like, I didn't include that. So today's emoji is gonna be a diamond. If you put a diamond down in the comments, I'll know you watched this far in the video. I will pray over you, and I will, or if you don't believe in prayer, positive energy, uplifting you. It's a way that it helps me to get to know people in the Countess of Shopping community, our counts and countesses better. When I see your name pop up over and over, it helps me to get to know you, right? Like, I'm like, oh, Chai's watching again. And I'm like, people I would never have known otherwise had they not been putting the emojis in the comments. So today's emoji is a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. Click the like button, click subscribe, make sure you get that free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist, join the group. And we talked in our, it's either the last video or upcoming video, depending on when I release these videos, the 5-pound challenge that is in the free group. Make sure you do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Let me know your questions down in the comments below too. Have a great day. Bye, friends.